Governor. Chair, I want to go on record as one of the people who have expressed deep concern about this particular arrangement with the national government, with the county government of Nairobi. I want to be very clear from the onset that nobody is against development, nobody is against support from the national government to the county government in the execution of their mandates for the use of the funds. But you will agree with me that everything we do is subject to the law and the Constitution. We start with Article 10 of the Constitution, which requires that any time any person makes any policy pronouncements or public policy decisions such as the ones you have taken to essentially transfer these functions to the national government, you have to apply the values in Article 10, which also include, and I'm sure you're aware, that public participation has to be taken before the fact, not after the fact, and we will come to that shortly, Honorable Chair. The agreement is expressed to be pursuant to Section 6 of the Urban Areas Act, and the Governor has rightfully referenced that whereas it anticipates an agreement between the two levels of government to support Nairobi recognizing its special standing, that particular section makes it subject to Section 2, subsection 2 of that Section 6, which says that the county government shall be run as a county government. And Honorable Speaker, I will send you straight to Article 176, which gives us a definition of a county government. Article 176(1) says there shall be a county government for each county consisting of a county assembly and the county executive. So that, Honorable Chair, any agreement under Section 6 of the Urban Areas Act must recognize that the only structure of management of a county is the one that is established under 176(1). So that if you introduce any management body outside those two, you are flouting subsection 2 of Section 6 of the Urban Areas and Cities Act. Honorable Speaker or Chair, Article 177 further establishes the membership of the county assembly and the county executive. It does not include, outside the Speaker, outside the members of the county assembly, you cannot purport to introduce any other organ. And in the membership of the county executive as well, you cannot purport to introduce members of the national executive in the management of the county and then claim that you have done it in accordance with the law. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, or Chair, public participation that is anticipated under Article 10(1)(c) is something that is required prior to decisions being made. Your Excellency, you entered into agreement. You have signed an agreement here. And I would want that when the committee starts interrogating, we need to understand as the people of Nairobi how long these conversations have been going. Because it is not possible that, in my estimation, I don't think that these conversations happened within a week or two. You, as the head of the government in Nairobi, have been having these conversations with the view of entering this agreement with the national government. I think I'll be right to assume that it has taken some time. What was so difficult for you to be able to publish, for instance, a notice and say the Nairobi County government is in talks with the national government with a view of entering an agreement that looks like this, and then allow us as the people of Nairobi to conduct public participation and give our views, including the County Assembly of Nairobi? Honorable Chair, I want to confirm as a Senator of Nairobi that I had no idea that these particular negotiations were going on, outside the fact that the Governor is my friend, is able to reach me on phone. I had no clue until I saw that invitation that there was going to be a signing ceremony, and you put it at a very unfriendly address, which of course Sifuna is not welcome to attend. We have seen the schedule that has been published for now, the public participation. The people of Nairobi are supposed to undertake that public participation tomorrow. Actually, it starts today at Charter Hall and then Friday in the constituencies. This is an egregious violation of the right of public participation, in my view, because you have already put pen to paper, Honorable Governor. And it is, the courts in Kenya have already ruled that when the Constitution requires public participation, it has to be meaningful. It cannot be a cosmetic exercise meant to rubber stamp something that has already been settled. So, Honorable Chair, I have a problem, and this Committee of Devolution must actually protect the people of Nairobi. If you read the text of the agreement, it actually only anticipates, Governor, amendments that might come from public participation. It says that if there are any amendments that are proposed by the people of Nairobi, and you yourself have alluded to the possibility of amendments, what you have called refining the agreement, but you and the President do not anticipate that the people of Nairobi in their righteous might can actually say, we don't want this agreement. So, whereas the agreement anticipates that you can accommodate our views and amend it, we, the people of Nairobi, can say, we reject it in total. We have not seen where you accommodate that particular view. I will move on to the next one, Honorable Chair. The governor, being a former senator, is aware that in fact there exists legal mechanisms for us to be able to send specific support to specific counties wherever it is required, and noted that there is a specific need. Governor, we have passed the county government's additional allocations all this time when we've been in the Senate. You're familiar with that particular piece of legislation. It is possible, Governor, and I will give the illustration of the county aggregation parks. Nairobi County, because we do not consider it a need, when you look at the column of the county government's additional allocation, you will see Kiambu, our bedroom, receives money for KAIPs, county aggregation parks. On the column for Nairobi, it is blank because of the recognition that probably our priorities lie elsewhere. When the county governments began in 2013 on Buchea, there are counties that did not have headquarters. I went to Mandera and I found that they were given money specifically to a need to say, let us have county headquarters. They have built those county headquarters. If you look at the column for Nairobi, you will see that Nairobi does not receive money for county headquarters. So there is a legal instrument, Governor. There's a legal instrument. You should have pointed out to the President that it is possible for the national government to identify the specific need, for instance, on street lighting. Our bill for street lighting almost matches some of the money that some of these counties spend on school feeding programs and the other things. It is a special need, and it Governor, if you look at the agreements that the control of budget required that counties do, there is no similar management mechanism that has been put in place. Musalia doesn't sit on our bursaries board, but we have an agreement so that you regularize it through the constitution. Thirdly and fourthly, the management committee. That is a problem that you as a committee will have to deal with. Musalia Mudavadi has sneaked himself into elective office in Nairobi, because he's essentially undertaking the functions of your government. And I know he's your brother, but you don't have to share power with him. Honorable Chair, yes, there is the question of pending rates, Governor. You yourself will tell this committee the current outstanding balance. Last we had a conversation with you about how much money national government owes the people of Nairobi. I think it was upwards of something like 100 billion Kenya shillings. Why can't you tell the President that you have the capacity as a county government to be able to manage Nairobi? Let him give us our money. Let him give us our money. And then we will build our roads. I have seen this county government building roads. Unless, Governor, you are saying you cannot build roads. If the national government gave the county government of Nairobi money, you have the capacity to build those roads. You have the capacity to do those sewer lines. You have the capacity to do the drainages. You are a government. Tell them to give us our money. When we see people saying, we will give you this money, but we are not very sure you will run it, so let's send Musalia to chair the board. That is unacceptable under the Urban Areas and Cities Act. Lastly, Chair, we are concerned about the oversight framework, because I sit in the County Public Accounts Committee, and we as a Senate, we are guided by the reports of the Auditor General. We are making the life of the Auditor General difficult when during an audit process, they have to go to various entities to be able to find documentation that support the expenditure of these resources. So for instance, if we want to audit these resources that have been given under this particular arrangement, you are told, oh, there are some documents you have to go and get from the treasury, the others are sijui where, the others are this. You are making it difficult for the auditor to be able to do their job. Lastly, Governor, the NMS, you yourself promised the people of Nairobi, we will not get into a misadventure similar to that one. This one is similar to that misadventure. It left us with a lot of pending bills. You have spoken to it. I heard you during your address to the county assembly. And Governor, you came before this Senate. You came before this Senate. This Senate helped you to extract a concession from State House that Nairobi people will not be paying the pending bills under NMS. We said the comptroller of State House, who was the accounting officer under NMS, should pay those resources. Governor, my expectation is when you go to State House, please remind the president that he is the one responsible for payment of those NMS pending bills before you sign the contract. You cannot just be there smiling and laughing, and yet you know the trouble that these contractors from NMS are going through. Let them pay their pending bills, and we don't want this misadventure again. With those few remarks, Honorable Chair, I thank you, and I reserve the right to ask any supplemental questions if the committee will allow me.
Let's allow the governor to respond first.
Chair. Which I can get all the questions.
Yeah, okay.
Because they might be similar in nature.
Chair, I thought because you gave the senator of the sitting room, you give the senator of the bedroom of Nairobi to also come through.
Thank you, Chair, for this opportunity. First, this committee has discussed the weak intergovernmental relations in Kenya.